What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I am back with another video. So, been having some technical difficulties, so give me a little bit of a break here on some of the amount of videos I've been dropping. I wanted to drop so much more this weekend, but I have Comcast, and they are borderline evil at this point with the amount of stuff that they're basically doing. It's just rude. But I wanted to talk about Domination, so that's the whole reason I'm here. I was going to make like 3 different videos today that were all, various amounts of time, but at the same time, like, what's the point of me making 3 videos talking about 3 different things that are each 10 minutes long when I can just make one video that discusses all of them and saves you guys like a bunch of time, right? So, Domination is interesting. Mystery Domination is, by the way, like the hardest thing that we've had all year. Like, if you guys watched my, video with the money play that would help you get through it, high five from the Pelicans playbook will help you score points, but it's not like even remotely as effective as it was during All-Star Spotlight Sims. Like, it's just not. The teams that you're playing against are too fake for the most part. Like, and even when they're not, like, it just doesn't seem to work. It looks like 2K kind of nerfed it a little bit. Anyone on next gen is going to have like a significantly bigger advantage in going for Mel Daniels. There's various glitches on next gen. It's also just generally easier to score on the Hall of Fame CPU on next gen, at least from my experience, because you can barely shoot on current gen. Like, it's just so difficult. But we've seen a lot of people trying to figure out Mystery Domination. I mean, it's called Mystery Domination. There's got to be some sort of mystery behind it, right? Like mystery set 1, mystery set 2, set 3, set 4, set 5, etc. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this has to do with the glitch market. Like, I still can't get the glitch market to open up. I've been seeing various people, I've had people say that I've seen a few videos that stated that after winning this domination game specifically against the, whatever, the Jazz team, that they're able to open it. I don't think that's the case. I've played the same game 3 times just to test it out, and I didn't get the glitch market to open up at all. Now, my other thought process that I was going through was there's random heat check players throughout Domination. If you look, I mean, like, I think the Pelicans one have Mike Scott. So, like, there's, like, random guys. Kelly Olynyk's in here somewhere. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk. So that I thought might have something to do with it. Like, maybe if you discover all of the heat check players that are in Domination and then you go play like a Domination game with that entire lineup's worth of heat players, like heat check players, that might have something to do with it. Though I do not believe it does. So if you head over to the 2K Reddit, they have a lot of people who are working like overtime to figure this out. And this isn't the first time that 2K has done stuff like this. Like, if you remember last year in 2K20, there was like hidden bits of code that allowed you to get like a pink diamond Scalabrini like relatively early in the year, which was like super interesting. Like, I like that idea, though it is like very tough to kind of get through it. So there is an entire Reddit thread called Theorycraft Glitch Market, and they talk about the runes. So update 3, we have solved the code, which just leads to a bigger puzzle. So there's a set of ruins, which is a top left title, the code that is under OG and Anobi, the code under Miles, the code under Frank Nicolina, just the Flash Market code. There's like a series of ruins. DBG did a pretty good video on this earlier. Not trying to like bite his video or anything, just saying. And a Grinch shoe, which apparently you get, I don't know. But either way, it says like Rand Debugger. OG's is Bodega, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Miles Turner's Donkey, which I don't, why they do Miles Turner like that? Frank Nicolita is like beyond disappointing. I don't know. Taco is Danger. Glitch Packs is Keyboard. Diamond Contract, when you open the Miles Market, says Rebound. Diamond Shoe, which is OG and Anobi, says Undergo. And the Diamond Grinch is under Frank's is Unready. Now, like, how do we use these? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Like, this is so stupid on 2K's part. Like, it's cool. I like mysteries, man. I do. I love the Sherlock Holmes games, man. Those are like some of my favorite games of all time, even though they only got like a 6 out of 10. Still really good. But what this has to do with my team in general and like what this could unlock, we have no idea. This is like way too complex for the average player, like especially because more than likely they're going to be like limited in some way, shape, or form. So we're gonna see like limited codes or whatever is going on here. Like only 1,000 people are gonna be able to get it. To my knowledge, there's like 3 Taco Falls, right? Like that's about the extent of Taco Fall in my team right now. But interestingly enough, if you take the A and B button on an Xbox controller and you hit them at the same time, this screen comes up, and I don't know what this is. And the weird part about it is I've done this thing where I've shut down, I went to dashboard, closed down my app, and then came back like multiple times, and what it shows on the screen changes. Sometimes it's like a radioactive pack, sometimes it's a chess piece, which ends up being like, the last team that not the last team, but the last thing that I'm looking at as far as my XP rewards. People are speculating that has something to do with the glitch market, because like, look, it's never done this before, but it could just be literally 2K's code being destroyed, like, or something. Sorry, I'm not well versed in like technical speak here. Your friendly neighborhood cheap loots, man. You don't ask for this stuff from me. But it's just weird. I don't really know what it could possibly mean. And it could just be an issue. Some people are speculating that it's like something that's really important to cracking the code and getting into this glitched market. But from everything I've seen so far, the glitch market is just random. It's hard to trust guys like HTB, not like in a rude way, but like they work for 2K. Like, I guess not work for, but they're contracted by 2K. Yeah, I saw the contract for 250. Sweet. Anyways, so they keep saying that it's just random. So it's like 50-50. Like, part of me is like, okay, yeah, I trust that guy. Like, he's contracted through 2K. Like, if he says it's random, he's probably accurate, right? But then I'm also over here on, like, my speculatory jet fuel doesn't melt steel beam stuff. And I'm like, he's just trying to throw us off the scent, man. It's not random. But in all likelihood, it's probably, knowing 2K, it's probably just random. Now, that being said, I have seen some, like, weird stuff pop up, and I accidentally sold it. But I had like a 2K generic shoe under the Jordans, and I thought that was kind of weird, but maybe that's something I just don't notice because I quick sell shoes all the time. But just like kind of weird stuff like that. People are saying there's some code like over here by Dwayne Wade's shoulder. I don't really necessarily think that's the case, but we're going to move past all that. Like, I'm done talking about the mystery behind it or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Like, there's some sort of mystery. People smarter than me are going to figure it out. I'm going to keep trying to figure it out, but I'm interested about these classified players. Like, this looks cool. When do we do this? Looks like it says there's only 4 days left on this one. Right? Yeah, it says there's only 4 days. That's weird. Like, do I have to, like, unlock something in the next 4 days, or is it 4 days until, like, it's actually active? I don't know. Sketchy. I don't like that. So anyways, like I said, Domination is an absolute nightmare. Let's just see if it changed at all. Yeah, now it's Radioactive Deluxe packs with a Bulls logo, which is weird because I didn't go over to the Radioactive screen. Like I said, this is strange. Like, I don't know. This could be like an issue. It could be something. I don't know. I've been on this screen. I've like pressed a bunch of buttons. I even entered like random codes. Like, I entered some codes that I remember from Grand Theft Auto 3. That didn't seem to work. So, that's lame. I've pressed like a bunch of series of buttons. I've pressed like A, B again, and that didn't seem to do anything. I've tried to press start. Like, I've tried to shut down my stuff. I don't know. I think this is just a generalized issue here. I've tried to go left to right. I don't really think this does anything necessarily. I was really hoping it was going to, because I thought I cracked the code, man. I was out here super excited before, but it would appear that I didn't do anything new, which is pretty much a huge bummer on my part. So, Domination itself is like ridiculously hard, right? Like I said, when it comes to like what team you got to use, you really just got to look at that starting lineup that you're facing and just try to build against it as best as possible. Like, that's the best way to do it. That's what I've had the most success. I am pretty good. I mean, I've won about 10 games, and I have copped an L. Like, I lost to this team just now because Steph Curry just keeps hitting, like, moving three-pointers where it's impossible to guard. So, trying to stack against that team as best as possible. Like, I'm having a rough time with a team that looks like this. I can only imagine what it's like for budget guys. Like, I really can't. And I'm not a budget YouTuber. You guys know that. You guys watch my pack openings. There's nothing budget about this channel. Let me tell you that. But I will say that even if you are a budget player, there are certain things that will help you out quite a bit. Now, number one, every team that you play against, for the most part, is going to have a ridiculously annoying center. Yeah, because even when you run against random teams, they have like Dekas. Yeah, this sucks too. This one's going to be really annoying. I don't really want to play that one. But having like a very athletic power forward who's also tall and having like a very large center is going to be key. Like, Shaq is actually one of the best cards, at least in my opinion, for Hoff Domination. Because, like, look, you can't shoot in Hoff Domination on current gen. Like, yeah, you'll make, I don't know, maybe 30-40% of your jump shots, which, I mean, it's accurate. Like, that's about how well an NBA team would typically shoot. Now, that being said, the CPU will turn around and shoot like 6 for 8 from three-pointers on like moving threes, and they're all green if you don't step out. The key really is you have to contest every single shot, because if you leave the CPU open, they don't miss. They straight up do not miss. Occasionally, they'll miss like an errant mid-range or something like that. But like, if you're playing against Steph Curry, if you don't contest a shot, he's going to make every single shot. He'll go 10 for 10 from 3, moving, doesn't matter. Truly, I'm not even kidding. Magic Johnson was like my saving grace for All-Star Spotlight Sims, and he's still one of the better cards for me anyway, but I know a lot of people do not have this Magic Johnson, and his price has gone up because of how useful he is in Domination. Rudy LaRusso, I'm not even kidding, is one of my favorite cards in this game right now. Look, he has like everything. I just burped, man. He has everything that you're going to need for a card in Spotlight Sims. Clamps, great defensive badges, Intimidator. You're going to need as many cards as you can get with Hall of Fame Intimidator just to try to contest shots from the CPU, because they're not messing around at all. Rebound Chaser, they're going to out-rebound you 90% of the time too. It's just annoying. But most importantly, he has Hall of Fame Range Extender. See, if you watch my video, which I will link at the end, which is a play tips video that'll help you beat All-Star Spotlight Sims, and it will help in Domination, but it breaks down a lot more than it does in All-Star Spotlight Sims, just based on the type of cards that you're playing against. And for whatever reason, it feels like the Hoff CPU is like even more annoyingly good than it was before. Having your power forwards have Hall of Fame Range Extender is key, because if that play breaks down, your power forward will be right above your point guard, and you can shoot a wide open 3 90% of the time. Now, is that wide open 3 going to make it? Well, it's Hall of Fame CPU, so I'm not entirely certain that it will, but having a guy with Hall of Fame range, because he is going to stand right at the edge of Hall of Fame range and gold range. So, having a guy like Andrei Kirilenko, Wes Unsolved, Rudy LaRusso, some more budget options that can hold it down, as far as like guys would be like Peja. If you have Peja, he works really well. He's got an easy to time jump shot too, so that always helps. He's a free guy. I think Jameson is gold range extender, if I'm not mistaken, so let me double check on that. Yeah, he looks to be gold range, so that's not really gonna... They stand a little too far out to have gold range be effective. Draymond is another good option. He can handle the ball too, so he's a great option to use if you're more of a budget guy. You can pick him up for like 15K right now. I'll look at his price in a second. Karl Anthony Towns, he has Hall of Fame range. Playing him at the power forward's a little risky, but it'll help you in the long run, unless you're going against someone like Giannis. So, guys like that are going to be really helpful. Anyone with Hall of Fame range, even this free Kevin Love, as like much as he's not a wonderful card, he actually will help you in just that one scenario. And he's a really good rebounder as well, and he can hold it down in the post, which is something you're going to want to do as well. So just look at guys like that. I mean, it helps obviously to have guys like Ray Allen. Ray Allen is a really good card for Hoff CPU because of his badges, and because of Ray Allen base, he makes an absurd amount of whites. Hall of Fame steady shooter is not a terrible badge in Hall of Fame CPU because they do get over and contest a lot of jump shots. Ray Allen will make the most whites out of any card in this game, in my opinion. He will. Whereas guys like Dirk and Larry Bird have easier to time and easier to green jump shots, they miss a lot of whites. So if you're really confident in your greening, then obviously you use guys like that are going to be easier to green with. But if you're like myself and not that confident that you're going to green 70% of the shots that you take, you're going to want to use guys with easier to green jump shot bases like a Ray Allen, or Draymond's pretty easy to, or not to green, but that make a lot of whites. Draymond makes a lot of whites. Fournier, in my opinion, makes a lot of whites, but I could be wrong about that. So definitely not a terrible idea. Defensive stopper guys like Ben Wallace obviously help out quite a bit. I was running him a little bit last night, and he has a great badge count. He's free. Clyde Drexler attacks the rim pretty well as well. De'Aaron Fox is actually really good. You could run like an all-free team that is extremely, extremely versatile and helps. Like, De'Aaron Fox is great. 99 speed. Dude is the fastest card in this game. It's not even particularly close. But, like, if I were to run like an all-free lineup, that's just all free guys. Yeah, Russ on the bench. Well, like John Wall, obviously, but like Russ on the bench probably. Or I'd run like De'Aaron Fox. I do really like this De'Aaron Fox card. Like, I'm a big fan. De'Aaron Fox is good. He's so quick. And then like big men, David Robinson. Bob Lanier is actually really solid too. I just unlocked him. I was going to do a gameplay video of him, but it's just like not an exciting gameplay video. So let's look at some budget options that will help you through Domination that are relatively inexpensive, you know, over the grand scheme of things, you know. So let's look to the newest Radioactive set, because all those cards, 2K does have a recency bias problem. They always have. Cards that just recently come out typically do perform better than cards that have been out for a long period of time. I mean, that's like one of those things that we don't like to admit, or that we think is false, but in actuality, it makes sense. Like, it really does. I'm sorry. Yao Ming is relatively cheap, and he's actually very helpful for Spotlight Sims. Domination. He grabs a lot of boards. He blocks shots. He's huge. Also, he's almost impossible to contest, so he can just murder people in the post. Shouldn't have said murder. I'm about to get demonetized. I just said it again. Either way, really, really good card in general. Honestly, Mark Eaton's not bad. Like, he's very good defensively. He's not really going to bring you much on the offensive end, but he's going to be able to hold over some of the bigger, more powerful centers that you're going to run into, like your Shaqs, your Embiid. Super annoying guys. Gotta hate Embiid so much. He literally doesn't miss threes. I'm sorry. So, maybe it doesn't do anything. As always, it's been real, guys.